Hi, this is Roger. Thanks for dropping by. Very early in the day at the moment, but I've got to get all the rest of my pots watered, bearing in mind my problem. As I said, I'll be mixing up a larger volume of the water and then using it in very small amounts so that the runoff doesn't build up any acidity and get poured into the next pot. It doesn't actually make a big deal for me. I thought it was going to be a faff, but it's not really. By mixing up a larger quantity, you know, and then just dip into it in much smaller doses, I think that should solve my problem. Problem I only really just discovered. And the problem does go on to the mounts as well. I mean, there's quite a lot of the mounts are recently mounted. They're in new moss, but there's some of them aren't. You know, I mean, there's some that would be almost a destruction of the plant to get it off the mount. There's a classic example here. If I can get it down. This one hasn't got a lot of moss underneath it, but to get that plant off would destroy it. And the moss has been on there a long time. So I bet when I water that one, the runoff's not too pleasant. But a hell of a lot of the plant now has extended onto the mount beyond the moss. So the majority of this plant is no longer on the moss, it's on the mount. And it's bare on the mount, if you know what I mean. So yeah, there are some that can't be dealt with without major disruption to the plant. So I've got to live with it basically and deal with it accordingly. Yeah, there's some others as well. There's probably about half a dozen mounts that have been on their mount some time now, and the moss will probably have broken down, but there's not too much of it. You know, if there was a huge amount of old moss on the mount, I'd have to get it off. And those would be old style mounts, the ones where I put the moss on first and put the plant on top, so they'd have to come off the mount completely and be redone. So it's quite a major disturbance, and this is not a good time of year to do that. This is just a quick video. The Miltoniopsis is opening. Now the camera's not going to show that. It's probably going to come out as cream because of the low light, but it is a gorgeous pale yellow with the deepest purple in the centre, with the deeper yellow in the centre. It's not properly open yet, it hasn't opened flat, but it is yellow, trust me. And it's absolutely stunning. It's going to be quite a large bloom too when it opens flat. And the other one that's just opened, I'll start, that's Shelob Tolkien, and although I mentioned this plant while the buds were swelling, and I said it has very similar colours to Shelob Tolkien, well, it's now open. Now, I've waited 3 years to recover this plant, and in my book it was well worth the wait. That is a gorgeous bloom. Not shouting yellow, not shouting loud, subtle. But although the colours are similar to Shelob Tolkien, the colour around the spots on the lip are more yellowy cream than just a pale creamy white. So it's got a more depth to its colour. And that to me is a gorgeous bloom. The little wings on the other two petals, and just the basic shape of it, the colours, absolutely gorgeous. And Peter Comp's come to the front now so we can see it again. Another gorgeous bloom. Nice combination of colours, very fragrant, that one. This one hasn't been in bloom for so long, I haven't got a clue whether it's fragrant, but being an Alisara, probably not. The Miltoniopsis was Junette, that was got in bloom, although the blooms were fading at the time. This one hasn't bloomed for a very long time, probably 3, maybe even 4 years since I've seen these blooms. But I think that was worth rescuing and worth the wait. It's a gorgeous one. That's Alisara, come on brain, Evening Colours, The Gloaming. So with an expression like The Gloaming, that's possibly a hybrid that was produced in Scotland. That is a Scottish expression. It's not an expression you'd use in England. So yeah, gorgeous bloom. And that's it, that's just a quick video today. I've got a lot of work to do and I'm out all day tomorrow. I'm off to Burnham's for the day, so it'll be a relatively early start. It's about a 2.5 hour drive. Why do I do these things? But I haven't had an orchid related day out for some time, so I'm looking forward to it. And it is a gorgeous drive. Apart from the section of motorway, certainly the first sort of 70 odd miles are through some of the most stunning Dorset countryside. Absolutely stunning, so I'm quite looking forward to that, to the drive. I mean, it'll be in good weather. I went once and I left quite early in the day, and I thought I'm going to stop a few times and really enjoy the scenery. The whole journey was shrouded in fog, and all I could see was the tail lights of the car in front of me. So that was a crap journey, that was. But we've got the weather now. It's going to be a nice drive, very pleasant. Enjoy the scenery, no rush, you know, no panic, no getting impatient with slow drivers and all that sort of stuff, you know. So I've always said my horn shouldn't go beep beep, it should go get away. If you want to dawdle around, get off the main roads. If you want to watch the scenery, go and enjoy it somewhere on the quieter roads, or stop and get out the car, even better. Don't clutter up the main roads where people got business to attend to and jobs to do and appointments to keep and planes to catch, doctors to see. Get out the flipping way. Anyway, I'll see you next time. Just a quick video this time, but yeah, I'm really pleased that has recovered. Now I need to grow it on. That was its last new growth that's bloomed, and there's another new growth coming on. So yeah, recovered. Good stuff. And the next thing I suppose we could say we're looking forward to is the Miltonia up here. This is it's on a mount at the moment, but this has got 2 spikes, and the buds are, I'm not quite sure because this hasn't bloomed for me before. This looks like a bud, but it could also be a sheath that will produce several buds, so we'll have to wait and see. But it's swelling on nicely, 2 spikes doing nicely. That'll be the next thing to look forward to, I think. I don't think there's anything else that's going to get there first anyway. This will be the next thing to open, I suspect. So see you next time. Thanks for dropping by.